Hey guys, this is FanThemePark with a little co-op Xbox review, and we're going to review some games as well. And this is my friend FanThemePark, so check out his channel. And so yeah, we're just going to get right to it. We're not doing the Slim because I don't have the Slim, but we're doing the white version of the Elite. So this is an Elite. The hardware inside is Elite, but it's white on the outside. And the faceplate is also different. It's not what it comes with. But we got the power right here. Shows the lights around it, show how many players there are playing. You got USB ports, disk drive, memory cards. You should probably just use a hard drive though, but if you want to take your memory around, you can use those. And you got your sync button, sync your controllers up if you're using it on a different Xbox. You got your hard drives, so 20 gigabyte, so you can easily remove them and put it on in there. There's a lot of consoles you can't do that with. Like the Slim, you have to like open it up and change it out. This one is just right on top. We'll just put that. On the back, we got your Ethernet cable. There's no built-in Wi-Fi on this. There is built-in Wi-Fi on the Slim. There's a USB port. You got HDMI, AV, and the power cable. And so that's the console. And I'll just show you the power cable because it's really big. Like this is my hand.
It's ginormous.
The brick is the biggest brick I've ever seen. I guess because the console is so powerful. And this is the end it plugs into. It's also pretty big. But yeah, here's the controller. You get your two thumbsticks, A, X, Y, B buttons. You got your left and right trigger and left and right bumper. You got your home button. You can call up the menu from your playing a game. Start, back, and you also got a D-pad, which isn't used a whole lot, but it is there. It does function. And the controllers, they feel good. They got a good weight, and they just fit your hand pretty good, so they're really nice.
Okay, so that was the older controller, like when they first released the Xbox, but now they've started doing controllers like these. This is my Modern Warfare 3 controller, but the controllers now have a twistable D-pad here, so if you want the older look or if you want to be more accurate with like navigating the menus, you can turn it back up. And then also they got rid of the 4 little dot things for the grips here, and now they don't have any, and now it just feels a lot better. And also something else that he didn't mention, but it's nice to know, and most people know this, is when you hold down on the menu, it lights up green, and when it connects to the Xbox, then it shows like what player you are. So that's something kind of cool. And also the controller, yeah, definitely feels better. The PS3's definitely feels better than PS3. Much bigger. It's just better.
You can also plug in accessories. One of them, I'm sure most people have, is a mic. There's wireless mics, which are pretty expensive, like $50, and you got a wired mic, which is what I suggest. You just plug it into your controller, so it's not like you have to plug it into your system or anything. And yeah, these are like $20. They're pretty cheap, and so you can talk to your friends on Xbox Live. So I definitely recommend getting Xbox Live if you're going to get an Xbox, because you're missing out if you don't get it.
Yeah, if you don't have Xbox Live, just get like a Wii or something.
Yeah, you're not using the right console. So now we're going to show you some games. I got my games, which I pretty much just have all Call of Duties and Halos. Those are the only 2 series I like, and he's got some other games. He also has Call of Duty and Halo as well. So we'll just start that out. This is in order from the oldest to the newest. So you got Halo 3. It's a real solid classic game, I'm sure everyone loves. And the campaign is really fun, and it's a bit short, but it's really fun. The multiplayer is awesome. It's so fun to play that. And you got Forge, which is really fun to make stuff. The Reach Forge is obviously way better, but Forge is still fun. But you can have theater mode. It's a really good game.
Yeah, if you have an Xbox, if you don't have Halo 3, you're messed up. So here I have Mass Effect 2, and yeah, it's a really great game, really great RPG, and I really like how the choices you make throughout the game affect the ending. So there's tons of different endings for the game. And yeah, it's great.
And now we got Call of Duty 4, another real classic game. The multiplayer is really fun. It's real simple, but that's one of the coolest parts about it. There's a lot of noobs in the multiplayer right now, so that's one of the fun things to do, is just own everyone. And the campaign's also really good. And you can also play the campaign again and use cheats and stuff like that.
Just Cause 2. I like games like this where you can just go around and do whatever you want and then get back to the story whenever you want to. But this one just sort of gets boring after a while because to kill people, you either just have your gun, your grapple hook, or like using a vehicle to run them over or shoot them down. But overall, I mean, the story has nothing special, but just driving around the city is pretty fun, but it does get boring after a while, so yeah.
Yeah, now we got World at War. This is another real fun game. The campaign is, so what I've heard, is really fun. You can do co-op on it, which you can't do in any other Call of Duty for some reason. The zombies is really fun. I'm sure it's everyone's favorite. Like, who doesn't love zombies? And you got all the classic maps and good guns and all that. And the multiplayer is actually, in my opinion, really underrated. It's really fun. You got tanks and bolt-action rifles, and it's pretty fun. It's also a lot of noobs in that as well.
Okay, now we got an exclusive, which is Left 4 Dead 2, and it's just overall a great zombie shooter. The campaign has nothing special, but where multiplayer is, it shines, because taking control of a zombie and being able to use special powers as it against human players, it's really fun. So it's a great game to pick up for like $30.
And now we got Modern Warfare 2. This one's really fun. There's some people that really don't like the multiplayer because they get pissed off a lot. There's a lot of cheap things, like there's noob tubing, one-man army, and commando and stuff. But if you look past that, it's a really fun game. They added a lot of new stuff from Call of Duty 4, including Spec Ops, which is a whole new mode where you can go through these little mini missions. They co-op if you want, online or split screen. The campaign is also really good. They did another outstanding job. And yeah, it's a pretty good game.
Batman Arkham Asylum. This was the game that made superhero games so good. Because before this, all the other superhero games really they sucked. And this just has like a really simple combat system, but because you only press 2 buttons to do all the stuff you can do in the combat, you can kill tons of guys, and it's just really fun.
And then we got Halo 3 ODST, which is kind of like an add-on game to Halo 3, sort of. ODST is a separate game where you have campaign, where you play as an ODST and you drop in Umbasa. The campaign's kind of fun. It's a bit slow-paced,
yeah,
but it's still pretty good. And then you got Firefight, which is really fun. It's a new mode in Halo when it came out at the time, and Firefight's really good. You can play that with your friends online. You can't search for people online, but you can still play with your friends, and it's really good. And then it comes with a multiplayer disc of Halo 3. It's not ODST multiplayer, it says Halo 3. And you get all the maps, including 3 new ones at the time they were new. Now you can get them on the marketplace. So, yeah, it's really good.
Okay, now I have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and let me tell you, the story in this game is really good. I never played the first or second one, but I heard their stories progressed the series a lot more than this one did. But just playing this, I thought the story was really good, and it's just fun to go around killing people in various ways and doing the story missions. And then also multiplayer is unique. It's unlike anything from Halo or Call of Duty or any of those FPSs out there. So it's good to have some kind of unique multiplayer experience, and I think it was probably the multiplayer of the year when it came out.
So now we got Halo Reach. This game, the multiplayer is really good, but it's not as good as like Halo 3 in my opinion. But it's still good. It's really fun. They have challenges, and you can customize your armor like way more, which is really cool. The campaign could have been better, but it's also still fun. And you got Ford, which is amazing, did an outstanding job. You got so many pieces, you can merge objects, you can just make anything you want. As in Halo 3, you might have to do some special tricks, or spend a lot of time getting everything just right. And then you have Theater, of course, and Firefight, you got that's back as well. And you can, Firefight matchmaking is also there. So a really good game.
Okay, so Medal of Honor. A lot of people, when this came out, like, they were really disappointed, and a lot of people thought this sucked, which the campaign was actually really fun, but the controls were just like pretty choppy. Like if you press B to crouch, then your guy would take a bit longer to crouch than right as you press it. But the multiplayer really has something that the company could progress on throughout the series and make it as good as Battlefield's or even better. And yeah, so this is just a really good game for 20 bucks, even though a lot of people didn't like it that much.
So now I got Call of Duty Black Ops. A bit more recent than some of the others that came out a year ago, but this game's pretty good. The multiplayer was alright. It's still fun, but not as good. The zombies is really fun. You know, I got more maps. There was a lot more map packs for this, and the campaign, I've played parts of it, and it's pretty good. It's pretty solid, and yeah, it's not a bad game.
Madden 2010, like every Madden is just like the previous, but maybe a bit better graphics and maybe some new like team colors and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a pretty good game. I never really play anything else but multiplayer online, and that's really fun to play against somebody else to see how good they are and test your skills. And it's also fun to play split screen. Well, not really split screen because you're on the same screen the whole time, but it's fun to play co-op on the same screen. So.
And now we got Modern Warfare 3. This game is really good. Multiplayer is amazing. The campaign is the best that I've ever played of all the Call of Duties. You got Spec Ops, which is good, and you got new survival mode where it's kind of like zombies sort of, but you can buy weapons and upgrades, and that's really good. So this game is definite must-have.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's really fun. They fixed all the multiplayer problems from Modern Warfare 2 and added some new things like point streaks and lots of new kill streaks and stuff, and it's really good.
And also, this season, Sledgehammer announced that they were doing 9 map packs, and I don't know if that's for sure, but they were going to do 9 map packs with 2 multiplayer maps, 1 extended campaign mission sort of, and I think a Spec Ops mission, and they would release them throughout the season. So if that's true, that'd be pretty cool.
And if you have Call of Duty Elite, you get all the map packs free, 50 bucks a year. So I'm assuming these map packs are probably going to be a little cheaper than what they normally are.
I hope so.
Maybe $10 or something like that, 800 Microsoft points. And so those will be good. And you also get them earlier if you have Elite.
Now I have a game that came out in 2010, and Transformers War for Cybertron. Now I don't play this that much anymore, and this was like the first good Transformers game and probably the only good one as far as I've played and seen. And yeah, it's still pretty fun, but now not that many people are multiplayer as when it first came out. They also have something called Escalation, which is sort of like Firefight and zombies from Call of Duty and Halo, but it's with Transformers, so it's a pretty decent game.
So the last game we have here is Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, and this is just a remake of Halo 1. It also comes with a map pack, which is 6 really good maps. Sorry, 1 firefight map that's really good, and 5 multiplayer maps. And each of those maps have their own versions. There's an original version like they were, because they're all remakes of maps from Halo 2 and Halo 1. And then there's another version which is kind of a bit more modified. There's some certain things placed. And the campaign is just like the classic Halo 1 campaign. A really cool thing they did is that you can switch between the old graphics, if you kind of like the old school style, if you're more classic, or if you want the new graphics, you can switch to those.
That's a really cool part of that.
Yeah,
oh,
and you can do it in-game. It's not like you have to play the whole game in one setting. In-game, you just press a button, and like a couple seconds later, it just switches.
And also show them the case of it.
Yeah, it's really probably my favorite case. It has this little sleeve, but even though it's in black and white, it looks really cool on the front.
And you didn't have to pre-order it to get the case. If you buy it now, it still comes with that awesome case.
Yeah, the case, it's not like a special edition, but so this is kind of just to hold you over for Halo 4, which looks like a really sweet game for what we've seen, which is going to come out next year.
And also 2 more games that I have, but they're on my hard drive at my house. Red Dead Redemption and Gears of War 2. And Red Dead Redemption is a lot better than Grand Theft Auto, I think. And also, yeah, it's not as good as Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, in my opinion, but it's still really good. And then Gears of War 2 they're an exclusive, so you need them for Xbox. I don't have the third one yet, but yeah, they're good games.
If you didn't know, you probably did, but all the Halos are also exclusive for Xbox. But Call of Duties and some of the other games are for both systems, PS and Xbox. So that was our little co-op review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was better than the Wii review, and I'll see you guys later.
See ya.